Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show on this Friday, August 5th, 2016. This is the fourth hour. I'm David Knight. We have a very interesting guest coming up at the bottom of the hour. We're going to be talking to a scientist from Berkeley, California about his company that is working on what used to be called cold fusion. Now they call it low-energy nuclear reactions, and we're going to talk about that. The Defense Department has said this has potential to be a hugely disruptive technology, and of course it does. It would change everything, even politically. Understand that our currency is based around the petrodollar, so it's got massive political issues at stake as well. But it's important as we look at this, as we look at history, as we look at technology. You know, I keep seeing these same MOs repeated over and over and over again. You know, Hillary's getting her Nixon on. She's got her own plumbers trying to cover her leaks, but they're not doing it. You've got people internally, I think, that are trying to expose what she's doing. We've had multiple people in intelligence that are very, very upset with what Hillary Clinton is doing. We had Judge Napolitano, as he pointed out earlier in the week, saying he's talked to a lot of people in the intelligence community that believe that what she has done has resulted in the direct deaths of agents that have been exposed. Alex was just talking to William Binney in the last hour. Amazing interview. If you haven't seen that interview, you need to watch that interview. One of the key takeaways that I think Mr. Binney had to say, and I got to say I have so much respect for William Binney. This guy truly is a winter soldier, and by that I don't mean the Captain America stuff, a villain, okay? No, winter soldier in the sense that he's not a sunshine patriot. This is a guy who toughs it out in Valley Forge. He does the right thing, even when everything is against him. One of the things that he said, which I think is very true, this whole lie about privacy versus security. William Binney said this was a lie from the beginning. It has been. As I've said before, you cannot be secure if you have no privacy, if you have no freedom, if you trade your liberty for the promise of security and safety, as our founder said. You'll get neither. You deserve neither. Slaves are never free. People who have no privacy are never free. People who trade their prosperity, their private property, for the promise of safety and security are never free. So you just become a prisoner. You just become a serf, a slave, to the degree that you trade that out. And he said, look, they just want power over you. He said they're covering for each other. In other words, it's a criminal conspiracy. We've told you this. It's simply a criminal conspiracy. And this quote from William Binney, I wrote these things down as he was talking. Trading our security for money. He said they keep the problems going so the money keeps flowing. That's the basis of the military-industrial complex. So I'm very anxious to see this movie when it comes out, A Good American. He was talking about that, but he was not talking to plug a movie that he's in. I'm sure, knowing William Binney, he gets paid very little, if anything. This is a documentary somebody is putting together. William Binney and these other NSA whistleblowers like Thomas Drake, they gave up everything. They didn't do this for money. They gave up everything to protect the Constitution. And so this is a key interview. You need to see what he has to say. And I think it's interesting, this article that's on the Drudge Report today about the new Snowden movie that's coming out by Oliver Stone. I was very disappointed to see Judicial Watch take this position because I have a lot of respect for Judicial Watch. They have done a great job of exposing the crimes of Hillary Clinton. As a matter of fact, I don't know where it is right now, but there is a court case that Judicial Watch has put together to try to get Hillary to testify in a lawsuit. So it's a civil lawsuit, and it was happening just before the political conventions came up. There was supposed to be a ruling by a judge as to whether or not she would be compelled to testify in this civil lawsuit because it involved her. And remember, it was a civil lawsuit testimony that Bill Clinton testified in that caused him to commit perjury. That's why he was impeached. He wasn't impeached for his affairs, okay? He was impeached because he committed perjury as part of a civil lawsuit. So Judicial Watch has a civil lawsuit coming against Hillary Clinton for these for these security violations and other issues. And we're still awaiting. I still have not seen whether or not the judge is going to compel her to testify. That would be incredibly important. So Judicial Watch does amazingly important information. They have revealed information about what happened with Benghazi and other things through regular channels. But they came out and said that they believe that Snowden is not a hero, but a traitor. And because he's a traitor, in their opinion, they think that this movie would be allowing the makers of the movie, Oliver Stone and others, to profit from treason. And that should be a reason that people come out after them. Let me say this, okay? The enemies knew what was going on, and what they were doing when they revealed this was they were telling the country that the government was violating the law. They're violating the law because they're compiling all this information in a massive way. As William Binney has pointed out, they had Trailblazer, which would go in and would allow them to get the information in an anonymous way and look for certain things rather than doing dragnet surveillance, rather than collecting all this information on everyone. That's what he and other whistleblowers within the NSA had done, and then they saw that the NSA was not interested in doing it that way. They wanted to go into the police state mode, and that's when they became whistleblowers. They went through regular channels. They went to Congress. Congress yawned and did nothing. And then we had Thomas Drake, who talked to a reporter in general about what was going on. When you reveal that criminal action is going on, you are a whistleblower. Now, their position is that because Al-Qaeda was alerted to the idea that the government was using methods to intercept their communications, that somehow caused lives to be lost. I don't think that is anywhere close to the same league as what Hillary Clinton does. She revealed detailed information. She got into the Gamma program, the Gamma compartment, as William Binney was talking about. She gave specifics to people. They were talking about general things. They were showing slides that said, look, the NSA is laughing at you. They're saying, who would have thought in 1984? They had a series of three slides. Remember, they had a picture of the 1984 iconic commercial that was promoting Apple Macintosh. And so they showed that picture and said, who would have thought in 1984, because that's when that came out, it was referenced to 1984, that the next slide shows Steve Jobs holding up an iPhone, that this would become Big Brother. And then they show the third slide, which shows people queued up to get it, and that people would willingly pay for it. They are laughing at you because they are illegally doing dragnet surveillance on the American people through their devices, and you're stupid enough to go out and pay for it yourself and get enthralled with this new technology. So that's what was revealed with Snowden. That's why he is a hero. And I think William Binney is absolutely right. The entire world owes a debt to him because this kind of corruption, this kind of secret police state that used to be confined to places like East Germany and the Stasi has now becoming globalized, okay? It's not just the American government, it's all governments are starting to do this. So it's a very key thing, and it's a very different thing to tell people that your government is breaking the law than it is to reveal details of conversations, to reveal names of people. That is a very different thing. Now, where is this all headed? Look at this article that was up on the Drudge Report. Chicago police using pre-crime AI to arrest people before they commit a crime. Before they commit a crime. This is from Technocracy. They say police are arresting people for crimes they're not committed yet using a new computer algorithm that will predict future crime. It's called predictive policing. It's being used, of course, where else? Chicago, where all the criminal stuff begins, okay? Strategic Subject List, the SSL, and the Chicago Special Order, S10-06, okay? This will equip law enforcement with the ability to arrest citizens before they commit a crime. So it'll take into various factors like your criminal records or your affiliations or the number of past arrests. But it will also use things like social media to develop a citizen ranking on locals and identify future threats. Look, understand this. Just as the RICO statutes were initially created to go after organized crime figures and to confiscate their assets before their trial so they would not be able to defend themselves with the highest priced lawyers. That was the whole idea behind RICO statute. But what they did was it was a pre-conviction punishment so that they could get a conviction against you. Where did we see this go? RICO statute eventually began being used against, it wasn't very long before they started using it against abortion protesters or other people. It's being put out that they would like to use RICO statutes against people who don't agree with man-made global warming. You have to understand that once they start this out, they're going to put it against people who are true criminals, but they're going to bring this out to the entire population. The fastest growing area of the intelligence surveillance community is geospatial intelligence. We talked about this with Jade Helm last year. When they talk about mastering the human domain, you understand that is about human domain analytics, exactly what they're talking about here. And when you go back and you look at geospatial intelligence, where they map you onto the map, geographically onto the map, but they also map your political beliefs, your religious affiliations, who your friends are, things that are completely innocuous. They map everybody. And you have to understand that what they are doing with this and where they're going in the long run is to shut down political enemies, not just going after violent criminals or terrorists. That is where this is headed. They want activity-based intelligence. The metadata that Hayden and these other people are lying to you about, that is the most important data they get. The metadata is the most important data. When they say, we're not recording your conversations, well, you know, as William Benny has pointed out, that's a lie. But the most important data that they're getting is the metadata, because with that, they can build a complete profile of you. And we have another story that's on the Drudge Report, how a company has already built a profile on every single adult American. This is the kind of surveillance state that we need to shut down. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And we're going to have Cold Fusion at the bottom of the hour.
Talk show host is Alex Jones. He's a conspiracy theorist.
Radio talk show host Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Jones is the wildly popular conspiracy theorist.
Radio talk show host and conspiracy theorist Alex Jones.
Deeply, I think, racist.
I just got called racist by MSNBC.
I don't want that man to have a gun.
1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
The Alex Jones Show. Watch the free stream live at Infowars.com/show.
We have ended the big mega sale. Now, we have kept 3 items, though, this week. That's Brain Force, While Supplies Last, the amazing nootropic, for $17.76, normally $29. Leading competitors that have similar formulas are $60 to $70 to $80. That's 40% off. DNA Force, our flagship product. It's a big deal to offer 30% off on that. We're extending that. And then Vitamin Mineral Fusion, all the vitamins, all the minerals, the amino acids, the cofactors to help upload it. Great tasting fruit punch. InfoWarsLife.com, that's 30% off. But I'm going to go further. Boom, here it is. Normally you sign up for auto ship, you get 10% off. You still get that on top of it. I'm doing free shipping on everything. Whether it's one Hillary for Prison shirt or a Bill Clinton rape shirt, or whatever it is, whatever informational warfare weapon you want to help spread the word and meet like-minded people, free shipping store-wide. Free shipping store-wide. So I want to thank you all for your support, your prayers, and so much more.